Hey everybody, welcome back. So this is going to be a three-part series that I'm doing about law of assumption. I have some notes if I look down. I'm just reading the points that I had that you saw on the thumbnail when you saw the video. So basically there's a couple mistakes that people make with the law of assumption. They don't realize that it's pretty straight on. So the first thing I want to talk about is looking for evidence, because I have a habit of doing all these things too. So I know you guys are dealing with some of the same things. So the first thing is looking for evidence. When you're manifesting something consciously that you like want to be aware of, you have to realize that you don't need to look for evidence, because if you have something, you're not going to be looking for it or kind of like on edge looking over your shoulder or thinking that you're missing something. Think about something that you already have, like a car, your apartment, your house, something that you might have manifested before, or just something that you received, and think about how you weren't exactly looking for evidence of it. Especially if you have it right now, you're just like, oh, my phone is right here, my keys is right here. When I go outside, I know my car is there already. So you don't need to look for evidence of your desires. And I think the main part that comes with that is that people feel like they need to see the movement that's happening behind the scenes to get them to the outcome, and you don't need to see all of those steps. A lot of times if you're coming from a belief system or a place of not having something to having it, you might not even expect the surprising ways that things could unfold for you. You're not going to see the full picture of how where you are right now is connected to getting what you want. It's going to be something natural where you're just like, oh, let me go over here, and then surprise, there's your manifestation. Like, obviously you do have the power to describe exactly how you want stuff to come to you, but 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be expecting it. It's just going to be something that's so naturally on your path, like you were already going to do that thing already that brought you to where you wanted. So like an example is, I don't know if you saw my success story video, but one of the things I talked about was wanting to manifest Harry Potter books. So I had this appointment to go. It was like Reiki, so they help you with your energy, kind of balance you out. So I had that appointment. I set it up. I wasn't even thinking about Harry Potter. I affirmed for the books maybe a couple times, and then I let it go. So I went to that appointment, something that I was already gonna do, and before going upstairs, I was a little bit early, so I just walked through this building, and it turned out to be a bookstore. And I walked around, and I actually saw two of the Harry Potter books on the in the sale section, because somebody had returned them, so they marked it down like well below half price. So I wasn't thinking about Harry Potter. I let it go. I wasn't even affirming for it. But because I was already in alignment with going to that appointment, it just so happened that that bookstore was already there, and the person that I was going to see, she changed her location. So this was the first time I ever went to this new spot that she was at. So things like that, I could have never thought that I was going to find the books there. I didn't know how it was going to happen. Someone could have gave it to me. I could have found it somewhere else. I could have just went and bought it online when I had the money for the whole collection. But no, it was placed there, and I wasn't looking around waiting for Harry Potter books to just fall out of the sky. So that's just one example of how you don't need to look for evidence. You just decide you want something, decide it's yours already, and then there's going to be something, synchronicities that fall into place that lead you through the easiest way to getting your desire. But just know you already have it. So you just can't flip flop and have the energy of doubt or thinking that it's not there, because that's the only thing that'll stop you from being open to doing or being led through synchronicities to things that you already wanted to happen. So, sorry about the noise, it's a bus driving by. The second thing is thinking you have to believe it. You don't need to believe that what you want is even possible. You don't have to believe the affirmations or whatever technique. Sorry, it's like planes going by too. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But you don't have to believe the techniques that you're doing. You just have to pick something and be consistent with it. You just have to say, okay, well, this is what I want, so I'm just going to keep thinking about it, keep telling the story that I have it, or just say, I'm so grateful that this worked out for me. I'm so happy I got mine. Fill in the blank. And just keep focusing on the fact that you have it. Don't go back to the story of where is it, or thinking like you have to keep focusing on the circumstances that you're currently in. Whatever you're going through right now is going to be a bridge or something that connects you to having your desire. So instead of thinking of a place that's limiting or stopping you or possibly can hold you back, nothing can hold you back from your desire unless you believe that it can. So right now, whatever you're going through, just know that's a connecting point for you to get to your desire, if you know what I mean. The next thing is maintaining feelings. Obviously, you don't have to be in 100% happy, chipper feeling state in order to get whatever you want. Like, however you're feeling right now is fine. It's only when you believe that those feelings are limiting you or holding you back, when you think doubt or fear means that you're not getting what you want. No, that's not what it means. You get to decide what those emotions mean. You could just be purging whatever energy you had based on your current circumstances, but that has nothing to do with you having your desire. If you had your desire already, you wouldn't even be feeling that way. Or honestly, you could be in a bad mood, but it still wouldn't take away from the fact that you have your desire. Think about when people, like, you have a car, you have a house, right? So you're in a bad mood one day. You don't go outside and your car just disappears. It would have to take some specific circumstances for it to get to that point. But in all honesty, your car's not disappearing based on your mood. If that was the case, then all of us would be having our cars, our houses disappearing every second or every time we felt bad. So think about it that way. Like, you're allowed to be sad when you're rich. You're allowed to be sad when you're poor. You're allowed to be happy when you're rich. You're allowed to be happy when you're poor. It doesn't matter what state of being or whatever the desire is. You having emotions is not going to take away from your ability to have what you want. Emotions are just part of being human. So when you do have the emotions, you don't react in a way where you think something bad is happening or it means that something's not working. No, you're just feeling emotions. You feel them, you focus on the sensation, you let it go almost instantaneously or however long it takes for you to just go away. But most times, once you change your focus and put it on something else, those emotions subside anyway. So it's just a matter of not resisting however you're feeling. You could talk to yourself and say, okay, what is this feeling coming up about? If it's because you feel like you're not getting what you want, just gently remind yourself, well, emotions don't have anything to do with my desires. I already have my desires, so feeling this way can't take away from it. It's okay that I don't feel good right now, but it has nothing to do with my desire. I know that I'm empowered. I know that I know what I'm doing, and I know that some way, somehow, things are already unfolding for me to get whatever I want. But one thing I know for sure is that I made the decision, the desire is mine, and nothing can change that, including your emotions. So you just kind of talk yourself down and even prepare yourself ahead of time. Okay, I know that when I feel bad, most times it's because I'm doubting. So you know what, when I feel bad, I'm going to say an affirmation like, anything is possible, I can do anything, all my desires are mine. Like, think of something that you can automatically switch your focus to, and you could say, you know what, I'm grateful for this emotion because it helped me realize that I wasn't believing myself, and now I can encourage myself with thoughts that are more aligned with me having my desires. Focus on fulfillment instead of assuming that coming up means that you're not getting your desire or that something's wrong. The next thing, trying too hard to be perfect or get it just right. There's no one size fits all manifestation from one person to the next. People can create things in infinite different ways. So don't really compare yourself to what other people are doing or assume that you're not doing something right. Like, you don't have to be perfect. You already are. Like, you're perfect for what you need to accomplish, for all the desires you have. You have everything within you. It's just about putting your attention and focus on your awareness. If a lot of people have this thing about perfection, like they either think you can't be good enough or it's impossible, or they strive too hard to achieve it. Like, you are all you need. You are enough. So I think you could either start with affirmations saying, I am enough, I do everything right. Like, if you feel like you always make mistakes or you see that things don't seem to be working out for you, change it around and say, you know what, no matter how things look, everything's always working out for me. No matter how I feel, everything's always working out for me. I do everything right. Everything always works out in my best case scenario. Like, think about why you're thinking you need to be perfect or that somehow you're not already doing things right, because we've been manifesting our entire lives. Whether you know about manifestation or not, you're still creating based on whatever belief system, whatever values, whatever things you were taught, the way you were raised. So manifestation is automatic whether you're conscious of it or not, but it's really just about focusing on how effortlessly everything has already been manifesting for you and putting your attention on it. Like, you've created your whole entire life, this whole world experience, so you've already been doing it. You just haven't been aware, and now that we are, it's supposed to get easier, not harder. So you are already perfect. You are enough. You do everything right. You're so good at manifesting that you're creating yourself experiencing the fact that you think you're not doing it right. Because if that's what you keep thinking and that's the interpretation and meaning that you're giving things, the only reason things keep having that outcome is because that's what you keep assigning it as a meaning in terms of your circumstances. If you started to say everything is always working out for me, whatever you're going through right now, no matter how it came about, no matter how negative it started out, it can transform into something positive if you give it that meaning. You're the only one giving those things the power, so you're the only one who can take the power away from the negative and turn it into something positive. So just keep that in mind. And the last thing is expecting to wait. Sorry, my nose is stuffy. We have this assumption that time is not on our side. We have this assumption that good things take time, or that we have to wait, and then we even have the assumption that our manifestations aren't coming, so it creates the experience of us continuously having to experience waiting, like a gap or delay between us getting what we want. We literally manifest instantly. It's just, if you are coming from the perspective of assuming that things take time, you're not gonna perceive it that way. So as soon as you say that you want something, it's instant. It already existed. By the time you get the desire or the idea for something, it's already been there. That's the only way you could even imagine it or even fathom wanting something, is if you already had it, at least in a certain reality that was already in existence. So it's just not even bringing that here, it's bringing yourself to that reality where you already have everything that you want, everything that you need, and you don't have to micromanage that in order for it to happen. So I think if you're having difficulty with time and you just have this expectation that you always have to wait, or you don't get what you want, or that things take a long time to change, you should do affirmations that kind of resolve that and put that at ease. So if you want to start off saying, I get everything that I want instantly, I always manifest so fast, everything comes to me so fast. Like, think about things that describe how you want things to go for you. So yeah, I would just say keep focusing on that and improving your thoughts and ideas and expectations about having to wait for what you want, and that will resolve itself quickly. Like, if you start talking about, I always manifest instantly, just give yourself some grace, because sometimes when you're starting to focus your awareness on a new belief or a new idea, like manifesting fast or getting things that you want fast, we might not see physical changes right away. And it's not that things aren't changing, it's just that we're constantly shifting realities in every second, but our expectation is that things look so similar that we don't even recognize we're in a different reality. So I just say that to say, if you're going to focus on changing your self-concept and your relationship towards time and being more in the moment and allowing things to come to you instantaneously, take like a week or two and just affirm, I always get what I want so fast. I always manifest instantly, without the expectation of manifesting anything. And I just mean that to say, don't sit there and be looking or waiting like, okay, I'm saying this, where is it? No, don't do that. Just affirm, to really kind of get it into your mind and really put your focus and awareness and attention on time being on your side for at least a week or two, just to establish a new baseline for your focus. And every time a doubt or fear or worry comes up, just keep repeating it. This goes back to not needing to believe it in order for it to change or to come about. So just challenge yourself to do that for 2 weeks. It doesn't even take that long, but I'll just say do it long enough until you see certain manifestations or things coming instantly. Or honestly, you'll start to put more attention on how things have already been coming to you instantly. Like for me, I'll be thinking like I want food or something, and literally a second later, a coworker will call me and offer the same exact food that I was asking about. Or I'll be thinking something and somebody will do the same exact thing, or they'll say something, or if I'm thinking of somebody and they end up texting me or calling me. Like, we have instantaneous manifestations all the time. It's just we might overlook them if it's not something that we consider to be one of our bigger desires. And it's not even bigger in the sense of difficulty. Like, every manifestation is exactly the same. Wow. A cup of coffee, I'm gonna leave that in because that was kind of funny. A cup of coffee is the same thing as getting a house or $1 million. So like, you just have to remove this idea of difficulty in comparison when it comes to different desires, and eventually you'll see that everything is neutral, and you give it the meaning, you give it more power or more difficulty based on your own thoughts and expectations. So we're gonna have 2 more parts to this. So I think this is a good place I could end this for today. But yeah, just keep these things in mind and make sure you're not letting those things trip you up, because there really are no limitations. Even everything that I listed here is just some of the main things that people tend to do, even when you know that you got into manifestation to make things easier, not harder, but somehow you're finding a way to make even these solutions difficult. Like, it's just a mindset change, but it just takes a little practice, focusing your awareness, but it gets easier. And just keep focusing on having what you want, and before you know it, everything that you want, you'll just be living your dream life, and it'll just be so simple and easy. But I'll see you guys tomorrow for part 2. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. It's just exciting to imagine how the channel will grow, and a lot of you guys who are here in the beginning are going to be a part of that, so you'll get to see it too, because that's something I'm manifesting. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.